Welcome back to Chicory, a colourful tale. I'm dear darling. Actually, no. Pick up your brush as we paint the world all over in every beautiful colour, as I believe we will be doing basically our last two, what do you call it, art lessons today in this episode. It's going to be the penultimate one, because in the next episode we are going to actually take on the final boss and all that good stuff. But for this episode, we are just going to be rounding off the art classes and probably talking to everyone who's outside the Wilder Towers to try and, get the story. I've already spoken to some of them before. You had to look in previous episodes, so I apologise. But anyway, for today's assignment, I want you to express love. Oh, love. Think deeply about this one. Love is universal, yet everyone's experience of it is unique. What does love feel like to you? What does it look like? I want you to express that. Love, okay. Honestly, I should have seen this coming. This seems like a pretty reasonable final thematic to try and draw. Or depict. What should I draw for love? What animal have I not drawn? You know what, maybe I should just draw, I feel like a lot of people are going to do romantic love, but why don't I do like a mother bird sort of looking after its children, or mother, a bird couple. And then okay, this is a very bright blue. I don't know why I used this blue. Just like a couple of birds and their little baby children in a nest or something, and it's like a familial love in a certain sense. That's an idea. We obviously don't have to go with that. I'm just trying to think if I have a better idea or anything like that. I don't really have much way. I guess we could do a romantic love. I don't know, romantic love sounds a lot more fun to draw, I'm going to be perfectly honest. A romantic love between what? Well, I don't know what animals we haven't drawn yet, is what I'm trying to think. Because I'm trying to keep it diverse. I don't think we've drawn like a fox or a wolf-like thing. Should we just draw B-stars, isn't it? A fox and a bunny. I think we've drawn a rabbit though, haven't we? So why don't we draw? Oh, I just got a very cool idea, which I'm not going to quite reveal to you. I might want a different color. But no, hold on. I'm just trying to think. What color do I want things? Yes, okay. I want that color down there. So I think we probably want this as a bit of a sky, kind of like that. And then we're going to need a bit of green. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to draw. You're going to have to sort of infer it from yourself. And I suppose if I can even draw it in the first place, I'm certainly going to do my best, but it's going to be quite a difficult one, I think, to depict. But it'll at the very least be rather interesting. I hope. No, this perspective's wrong. I'm trying to figure out this perspective. I guess we will do a fox and something. Maybe a fox and a sheep. Have we drawn a sheep yet? I don't remember. I honestly can't recall. But okay, if we're gonna have a fox, this is what I want. I want a fox. I want them to be looking off in this direction. We'll figure out what it is later. And they can be wearing, maybe not that shade of yellow, but maybe this shade of yellow. I don't know what they'll be wearing. I haven't really thought that far. nor who this fox particularly is. I don't know why like a sleeveless sort of like turtleneck came to mind. but that's what came to mind. I have to figure out this pose. Hold on. I can't figure out what this pose is. Okay. This pose has come to mind. It's going to be a bit of a weird one, I think, to depict. I drew the head way too big, now I'm looking at it, but that's fine. We'll just make everything big around here, so it feels very similar. Give a little bit more definition, a bit more width, I suppose. I guess you're a fox, so you should probably have this sort of like this white part as a fox. I think it's very, very clear now they're a fox. Legs. How does this pose go? Hold on, I need to do this pose for myself to really think about it. So you can't see the other arm anyway. And this arm's going to be coming down through here, I think. No, I suppose it could go over here. And then the legs are like this. Something like that. And then we get a bit of a dark, that's not a dark purple, bit of a dark purple, that's not dark purple, bit of a dark purple to be the inside here. It's not really right shade. So I guess we'll do this, well in fact reverse these colours to try and get a bit of shading going on. We don't really have much in the way of a darker orange I suppose, which is a bit of a nuisance, but hey hey, what can you do? You can only really work with what you got. And that is the fun part of it, is it or not? Anyway, this arm's a bit thin. That's probably what I'll say. So anyway, we've got this. Does this pose work? Does this pose make sense? I think it makes sense. And then, you can start to see what's going on. Hold on. I feel like this leg pose doesn't make sense. She's meant to be sort of like leaning over, you know, on that sort of thing. It's not a very comfortable position to sit in, I'm not gonna lie, but, you know, it's a very pretty pose, so. We'll do something like this, you know, a river in between. Some sort of isolation between her and her lover. For whatever reason, I don't know, haven't really gotten that far yet. Who's her lover gonna be? I don't know. Either, but. Well, I mean, we could just make it a little rabbit, I suppose. Or another fox. It's come, you know, we could do like Mr. and Mrs. Fox, you know, the fantastic Mr. Fox from that Roald Dahl story. Yes, no? No, I'm not feeling that. We are going to do our usual sort of sky pattern though, or the way we do gradients. And I feel like we should probably draw like clouds in the sky or something. I want this one to be like quite a nice, cute one, I think, to round things off of, you know, rather than having. We've done a lot of melancholic, very stressful, emotion-based ones. Why not just having something a little bit more pleasant this time? Okay. Should probably be a bit of shading here. I don't really know. We could put like some pleats on, something like that. If anything, it's kind of like a socially distanced picnic we got going on right now. So maybe I'll sort of lean into that aesthetic. You know, she's got a picnic basket here, and they're basically having, you know, for whatever reason, these two can't be together, but it's okay. We understand. Their love, you know, still transpires all the same. This doesn't really look like a picnic basket, so I guess we're gonna have to. I mean, it looks like it's ketchup coming out of it. But no, we're going to make this a bit of one of those checkered picnic blankets, like that. And then we can draw the lid like this, just to give it a bit more framing. We need like another shade of dark brown, but we're not going to get one, so that's all we got to work with. I think the shading can go a little bit like this, and it'll be fine. And then, okay, let's think about this. For one, you're going to need a nose. It's not the most important thing in the world. Fox is brown, or am I making that up? I think it might be brown. We don't really have a darker brown. Do we have one in our palette? No, it's a lighter orange. I guess we can use this as a sort of dark brownish. I kind of like it better just like plain like that, to be honest. And without the nose, it feels a bit more evocative in that way. And then we'll just, okay, who are we going to have in the distance? We try and do a badger. We don't have a black though, I don't think. We can try and do a squirrel? Like a grey squirrel or something? No, that's not going to show up very well on a blue background. I'm just trying to think of woodland creatures and trying to like sort of channel Beatrix Potter, because I don't want to draw a rabbit again. I think I drawn a rabbit twice actually. So, fox, a hedgehog. That could be an interesting one. I don't think we have enough browns though. Do a fox and a. I mean, I guess we'll do badger, and we'll use the dark purple we got in our palette, if at all possible. As a wait, maybe we could do a hedgehog with this. What sort of woodland creatures are there? And there's a deer, but we already drew a D, so we're not going to draw a deer again. We could draw... What else could we draw? I haven't really drawn much of many birds or something. So why don't we draw like a dove or something? I mean, that's not really a woodland creature. Like a... I don't know, just like little robin. A crow? A crow could be interesting. They're going to have to be very small though. Because of course, you know, they're very far in the distance. And they're going to be wearing... What's the opposite colour of yellow on the colour wheel? Hold on. Red, orange, yellow. Red, orange, yellow. Green. Blue. Purple. Pink. It's like a bluish purple, right? Like this sort of colour? Oh, it's a very bright blue, which I'm not really sure if I want. Which I guess I do want, because I do want you to stand out. I don't know how we're going to make it clear you're a bird, I suppose, but... I suppose the answer is we won't. I guess that's just the answer. We just won't. You know, when in doubt of having to draw clothes, you just make it a dress, because, you know, dresses are just one big blob. It's a lot easier to draw considerably than, you know, trying to detail out like trousers or something, anything separate. I guess they would have like yellow feet. Yeah, a yellow beak. I wish we had a smaller brush, huh? Or finer resolution. That's right. You just had to go over what you've drawn to make it a bit smaller. Yeah, maybe they're waving. Kinda like that. This has not worked particularly as well as I thought it would. That's the wrong kind of green. I guess it does kind of look like they're kneeling, right? And they got their own sort of little picnic box over here, which will have like just spots of red and white on. Kind of looks like a sandwich from that far away, I suppose. And the green itself, will have a darker green, I suppose, being like sort of splodges. Oh no, let's have like flowers. It's showing how different their worlds are, I suppose. You know, pink flowers over here, a few red flowers. They surround themselves in their opposite colours, you know, very cool colours over here, or whatever. Or they surround themselves in like all these warm, hot colours, and then you got a warm, hot. Well, actually, I mean, it was. I guess this is a purpley, pinky sort of thing. We can give very sort of cool flowers over here to. That's a bit big, I suppose. Now look at it. To sort of represent it, we can actually put these yellow dots in. That does not really make them look like flowers, I'm going to be honest. You know, it's sort of just meant to be like a message of like, you know, love transcending all sort of boundaries. That sort of thing, you know. Despite these two very, very different people, their love still shines through. They still care for each other deeply. You know, you get me? Doesn't that just warm your heart? I think this river could be a bit interesting, but just trying to think how to make it a bit more interesting. I suppose this is sort of like the riverbank. Like we need like a light shade of blue, which is not that shade of blue. Do we have other shades of pink? Which can be like with small flowers over here. I think it's a bit on the nose to just put like a giant heart in the middle, isn't it? I think that's what it's like. If anything, you can actually kind of look at this and be like, oh, maybe it's like a love at first sight sort of dealio, which is not what I intended, but you know, certainly we'll run with it as well. We'll keep the sky quite bright. Because, you know, I know, bright skies at night, shepherd's delight. That's not how the thing goes. I think it's like red sky night, isn't it? It's meant to be a forewarning of oncoming storms or whatnot. There you go. It's a bit boring down here. Maybe we should put like another, just a singular more flower. That's not a phrase. Just one more flower. You know, like maybe like a little forget-me-not or something. Should have probably spread out the colours a bit more. I think there we go. Maybe that's what love's like. Done. Alright then, brushes down. Let's see how they look. I think it's a nice little one to round off the prompt ones. Well, I've been saying it's the last one. I assumed it's the last one. I'm not actually sure. Why is there like a black line border around here? That's really beautiful, Spaghetti. Feels right to me. It's nicely detailed. It's full of exciting colour and energy. I can tell you really like that blue. I suppose I do. Let me just make my OBS window a bit bigger.
You know, I've never really been in love, but I'd like to feel like this someday.
Okay, that's all for now. Your piece will be in dinners, Spaghetti. Keep practicing. And if I've done my calculations correctly, this should be the final art lesson we have, which should be one final recreation, which we got to do, because we've only got one more space in the 11th gallery. And then after that, I'm not really sure what we'll do after that. And I don't know what other sort of side quests we've got, but I suppose we'll talk to everyone, and I forgot what side quests we have. You know, I did look up a guide just to try and figure out what side quests, but maybe we'll look up Steam achievements and said, this is it everyone, the final lesson. Of course I saved the most intricate piece for last, I suppose that makes sense after all. This classic will challenge your every artistic skill. Well, we'll be doing a master study of... That's just a photo! We're just recreating a photo of a horse. Oh god. Portrait of a horse looking back by Korn. My god, Korn, did you paint that photorealism? Striking, isn't it? Put all your heart into it and see what you can make. That's actually a fantastic final one to round off on. It's just, literally just a picture of a horse. Okay, well, I guess I'll start with a background, which has got like a sort of grassy knoll or something going on. I can't really tell. I accidentally changed the speed of my mouse. What? Are these the two the same colour? At least I can't see the difference in colour on my monitor. So I guess we'll use this sort of green to highlight some of these darker areas in the background. That's right, but the background, you know, needn't be particularly, you know, neat or anything. It's just sort of like the abstraction of what's going on, isn't it? Now the horse itself, I guess I'll use this brown. I guess this will be our dark colour brown. Now look at it. Oh god. I can't believe they've done this. I can't believe we've just put a photo in here. It's honestly hilarious though, and I've got to give them props about it. It's probably one of the funniest things I've seen. They have been getting more and... Actually, I'm not going to say they have been getting more and more intricate, because there was that dog one very near the beginning, which was actually an incredibly difficult one, the one where it's like the magician or something, whatever it's called. That was a very difficult early one. If anything, maybe that should have been the second last one, but perhaps they wanted it to do it like that, and people were just like, yeah, it's incredibly demotivating to do very realistic style followed by another very realistic style. And which, you know, I could see how that would be very annoying. Certainly. Okay, but we've got the general horse shape here, at the very least. Now we just kind of got to figure out some colours and how we're going to do the shading. And the answer essentially is we're not going to be able to do a lot of shading. So, under that knowledge, we are basically going to have to use our own sort of colorations that we want. Bien quoi? Shading will be pretty difficult. C'est très difficile. I suppose we can use this red. It's quite a dark shading. You know, just colour in this bit. Try and get what shading you can down. And of course we'll do these sort of like striations again as our gradual shading. Instead of, as usual, trying to do like our sort of block flat shading, I suppose. Now we're actually going to try and, I mean, it's still going to be flat shading, but we're of course going to try and incorporate these, the much more realistic elements, I suppose, in it. Luckily we can't really see that eye. We got this. We don't really have another shade of purple, I suppose, to do the inside of the eye. I suppose we can try something like this. It's a good thing we made a palette, to be perfectly honest, otherwise it would be quite difficult, I think, getting any of this done. I guess we'll use this as our highlighting. We used I suppose kind of unintentionally, we used a very quite red brown, which has made a lot of the shading elements of this a little bit strange. Methinks. You know what probably would have actually been a very nice idea to do for a palette is to actually just have like a load of have everything basically be the same colour but different sort of shades of it. So you could actually do a huge amount of detail and shading on every single like drawing you do, but it would just be sort of like monochrome, which I guess is kind of defeating the point because it's already quite monochrome, isn't it? If anything, you probably would want different colours just to make it a little bit more exciting, right? I don't know, horses' ears were so dark, to be perfectly honest. It's honestly is not that bad, I don't think, considering the task what we have set in front of us. It's quite the ask, is what I'll say, but it doesn't look terrible. That's probably how I put it. And you know, that's a good thing in life to aim for, is not terrible. do your best, that sort of thing. We kind of need more like shades of something, but unfortunately I think we're kind of out of shades of red. We've got more shades of pink, which I guess we can use as a texture, but I don't really like that. Oh, that's the wrong shade of browny red and browny maroon, I suppose. We actually did this one super quickly, I think, compared to the others. Probably because there's not really much more that we can really add to it. It's just quite a difficult one in the first place. And we got the essence of horse, which I think is the important part. This perhaps is a little bit too big. I guess we can add a bit more texture, I suppose, to this background, but there certainly is a bit of, you know, dark shading over here. Dark shadow. Start removing bits and pieces here. And then we get really dark green and, you know, really add some more shading in here. Despite the fact you really can't see a lot of it in the first place. That's alright anyway. It's like foliage. Honestly, this does not look all that bad, I think. And surprisingly, I think I've done this one faster than the other one. Alright, brushes down. Let's see how we did. I don't know exactly what we can do for the last 7 minutes, but we'll find out.
Chills. This one always freaks me out.
Your sparing use of dark purple is pleasing. The shapes are diverse. There's a lot to take in. You made good use of that dark purple brown colour.
That dark purple brown colour. I guess this, or this? I don't know if I'd say that's purple brown. It seems more like red brown to me. Wow, you didn't even have anything to say, Clementine.
Okay, you're peaceably in the 11th Master Gallery, Spaghetti. And that's it. You completed every art class we have to offer. Congratulations. Please take this honorary degree.
What about everyone else? They did it too. An art degree. Nice.
Your studies may be done here, but you should never ever stop practicing. Your artistic journey never ends.
True, Quinoa. True. Graduate. We graduated. Hello, Quinoa.
Well done, Spaghetti. You are unquestionably a master of art now, but there is always room to continue improving.
Wow, I think master of art's a bit of a tall order, but still.
I hope you take your newfound skills across picnic. I had dreams of becoming a wielder once, but Blackberry was my contemporary, so there was never a hope of me taking that mantle. But I think it was all for the best. I found a true passion for teaching.
You know, that's a great Quinoa.
Wait,
is this a prosthetic leg? I don't know how I've never noticed that. Or is that even your other leg? Are you standing on one leg this entire... No, you're standing on one leg. Hold on, what? What is this? Do you... No, that's your tail. No, that is your other leg. You're just missing a foot. I honestly never noticed. I love watching students find their own voice through art. It's an honorary privilege to support them on that journey. Also, what are you wearing? Now look at it. Oh no, that's just a sock.
You just got a sock on. This entire time, I legitimately thought Quinoa was balancing on one leg. Hello, Clementine. Congrats on finishing classes, Spaghetti. I'm kind of jealous. You seem to have everything pretty figured out. Graduation's creeping up on me too. Mum and Dad kind of expect me to move out, but yeah, I still have no idea what I'm going to do. That's just adult life, ain't it?
I thought you wanted to be an artist.
I mean, I like doing art, but I don't know about being an artist. Can I tell you a secret?
Of course.
You can tell me anything. I think I want to draw tattoos.
Whoa. Why is that a secret?
I don't think Mum and Dad are going to like it. I don't think that's true. I mean, it's not the same as being the wielder. I want to do something that makes them proud, especially after going through school. They gave a lot up for me, and I love them both so much. I feel like just doing something like that. I don't know.
Clementine, I was a barista and a janitor after I moved out. I really never figured my stuff out. But they've always loved me just the same.
I know, but it's different. Is it different? Spaghetti, you've always been kind of over the place. and you know, we still love you to bits. But like, for me, I think Mum and Dad expect more. I'm really scared of disappointing them. Ugh, sorry, Spaghetti. I didn't really mean...
I know. I understand how you feel. It doesn't matter what you do, Clementine. I'll love you no matter what. You feel the same about me, don't you?
Of course I do. We all do.
Don't you think Mum and Dad feel that about you too? As long as you're happy, doing what you want, I'm never going to be proud of you.
No.
Aww.
A sisterly hug. We'll always be there for you, Clementine, as you will for us. I think I knew of that, but I guess I just needed to hear it. Sometimes you do. Thanks, Spaghetti.
No, Clementine.
But, you know, I don't know if Spaghetti's the type to get a tattoo, but if she is, she'd absolutely love to get one from you. No better person, I think, to get them from than... There's no one like your older sister, or no, younger sister. I forgot Clementine's younger. So we have 3 minutes. I guess we'll go to the 11th gallery. We'll get our own pictures and we'll see what what's her name? Marzipan has to say about that. And in the next episode, we'll actually be tackling the corruption which we find over at Wilder Tower. You know, facing our inner demons once and for all. I wonder if we can paint the bird as it flies by. I never actually tried. What? Oh, sorry. Get in here. Oh, hello, Carcala. It's cool to see your work here. When I'm making art, it's all about feelings. Just trying to get the raw things onto canvas. I kind of forgot that it could be classy and clean too. It'd be funny to see my work in a gallery like this. How's it feel?
It's cool.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I guess it would be cool for me too. I don't know if art always belongs in a gallery though. I suppose, you know, that's a fair point. The horse actually looks pretty good scaled down, I'm not gonna lie. Marzipan, you got classic painting. This is the last one, but we had to get one of.
Portrait of a horse, looking back by Korn. It's a very last missing piece. Amazing job. There's just so much to unpack about it too. The figure is nude, but the focus is solely on their expression. Despite that, you can feel them laid bare before you. That coquettish look over the shoulder.
Coquettish?
And looking back has a double meaning, doesn't it? They seem to be looking back at us, but what else lies behind them? It all adds to the timeless mystery of their expression. But of course, the most salient detail, the hyperrealism, it's a lot to take in, isn't it? It's almost realer than real. It gives you the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, I suppose in universe, this is far more like rendered and detailed than the actual reality they live in, right? So this would sort of like go into Uncanny Valley, right?
That's how you know Korn was a real master.
You got nothing else to say? Honestly, I can't. It's quite nice to see like all our works of art. Get out of it, Carcala. You know, he's just vibing it. Okay, and we have a little review. This one, not great. That's when we're still getting used to a system. Probably shouldn't have done all the outlines, as it turns out outlines are pretty bad things to put down. This looks okay. A lot of these look a lot better shrunk down, as well. I say this one looks way better shrunk down. I remember it was a very difficult start to get. This one looks a bit derpy, but it's quite funny. These two actually look really good, I think, shrunk down like this. This one looks way better than I expected. And this one's just cute. The style is quite good. This one's okay. It's a bit meh. That's probably what I say. There's not a lot of like value definition between the colours I use, so it's kind of hard to differentiate things. It's become a bit of a mess over the sword. This one looks quite nice. It's a nice sort of
way of rendering the field. The mountain gets a little bit lost. This one just looks very uncanny, is probably what I would say. I think this is probably, apart from the first one, this is probably the second worst one. But it was quite a difficult one to do, I think. The bottle actually looks surprisingly good. The cat's himself, though, the eyes are perhaps a bit too big. It's crazy how, this one actually looks quite nice. Shrunk down, I guess, I think. I quite like it. So I hope you like it too, Marspan, as we'll be taking our leave as it's our time to face our inner demons and face the corruption which is spread throughout Luncheon. And, not the Tangle Tower, the Wilder Tower. You unfortunately had to look back through a load of previous episodes to find out when we spoke to all these people, but we'll be speaking to everyone and then facing on where I assume Chicory is already waiting for us. So for now, if you have been watching, thank you very much. This has been Chicory, a colourful tale. I've been Dear Darling. Any likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join my Dear Darling Discord, follow me on Twitter down below. Hope we see each other again, but for now it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.